Hey folks, your OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and a quick review of the Tzumi Universal Bluetooth Mini Tablet Keyboard. It offers what's called smart brackets. It's just a term for these kind of clips or wings that can hold any tablet around 7 to 9 inches and then close it up in the form of almost a mini netbook. It's fairly low cost. It sells on Amazon for under 20 bucks and it has a shrunken down QWERTY keyboard, but it's still better than using a software keyboard for entering longer emails. And it uses, again, Bluetooth version 3.0 to connect to your device. And again, the most impressive thing I would say is that it can be closed down completely, basically transforming your tablet into a 2-in-1 system. It works with both Android as well as iOS and has a 45-day kind of advertised battery life, which is actually pretty long. And in the packaging, of course, we have the keyboard itself, which we'll take a closer look at in a second. And other things that we get include a micro USB cable for charging and power, in addition to a thank you guide and an instruction manual that documents how to set it up and how to pop in your tablet at the correct position. Setting this off to the side and taking a look at the build of the keyboard first, it is made entirely out of plastic, so this does feel, not as premium as more expensive models on the market, but it is pretty lightweight. Design-wise, it takes a lot of inspiration from Apple and MacBooks. You can see that with the silver and the black rubber feet, but it works and it prevents it from sliding around on a surface or a desk. Overall, it's relatively slim, and there's access to the micro USB port for charging on the side, and that's essentially it. The keyboard isn't backlit, but you do have access to arrow keys on the bottom, and also multifunction keys by tapping on function, such as bring up the home, back, search, copy, paste, and media controls on the sides. You can see that the hinge actually opens up after exerting a certain amount of pressure, kind of like the HP Envy X2, and there is a soft touch material that prevents the tablet from getting scratched when you insert it into these clips. Otherwise, there's also LED lights when the caps lock, Bluetooth pairing mode power is running low, and the connect key have been activated. A simple power switch is located next to the connection key, which you tap on for a few seconds to enter the pairing mode. So pretty simple and straightforward. Again, works with both iOS, Android, and Windows tablets. So here we have an 8-inch tablet attached onto the keyboard dock. It's the Onda V80 Plus 2017 edition, and you can see that it actually works pretty well. The tablet here does have an aspect ratio that's a little wider than the iPad mini, which is why it extends a little bit, but you can see that the clips here doesn't cover up too much of the display, and it does fit all the way down, so any modern sized tablet with reasonable thickness will work. Older tablets that maybe are from 7-8 years ago might struggle a bit more if it's too thick, but because it's attached, it actually does a good job of holding the tablet at various angles and positions like a netbook or a computer. You do have a lot more freedom and mobility. It's surprisingly sturdy from our testing, and it allows you to type on your lap without it tipping over. It allows you to close it up for transportation, which is actually really handy since it's now kind of in a 2-in-1 attached form factor, and you can see this is what it looks like from the back. So a very elegant approach. Now the plastic here does seem to be slightly weaker on the edges, so I would be careful about banging it around, maybe still pop it into a case before taking it outside with you, but overall I would say it does do a good job of holding the tablet without it accidentally falling out, as you can see here. You still have access to the various ports on your tablet, and you can charge the keyboard as well when it's being used. So flipping it open and also accessing it is quite simple too. So let's take a closer look at the performance next. Again, as I kind of alluded to, the keyboard is not full-sized. However, it's reasonable, and it's a layout that I got used to after just a few minutes of practice with it. You can turn it on, and then after a few seconds, the tablet should be finding the device under pairing, and the first time that you set it up for pairing is also quite quick. I would say just takes a few seconds, and afterwards tap on this key once when the keyboard is on and it will be paired automatically, as you can see there. Tzumi Bluetooth keyboard. And if we go through some of the commands, you can see that I can use the up, down, left, right arrow keys to navigate around Android without any problems. I can hit on enter and it becomes like a joystick for manual navigation, which could be handy in text entry and more precise uses, perhaps if you're using Excel or PowerPoint, and also useful if you have a Windows tablet. Finally, let's go through some of the custom function commands, such as going back home. So we're already in the home page right now, so nothing is happening. But let's tap on that once more. I can also go back. So tapping on the function back key here takes me back. Same thing with the search. That brings up the Google search bar. Cut, paste, as well as volume controls. All these things will work. And it does a good job of controlling it without having to tap on the keys. Let's zoom in a little bit. All right. This is a test. So overall, it actually feels fairly responsive. You can see there's not too much latency between what I'm typing and what happens on screen. It seems reasonably accurate. You do have to exert a little bit more pressure on the keys on the sides, but even though the keys are, of course, smaller than a full-blown 15.6-inch laptop, this is actually pretty accurate. So this is a good experience. And you can see that I'm making actually no errors from those quick tests that I'm performing. So there's very little lag. It's easy to go between various parts of the text to edit it, as well as to, of course, do quick commands. So if you're doing longer emails, productivity, entering text, or writing, this actually does do a pretty good job. So even though it's shrunken down in size, I didn't have any real complaints about it when I was doing my testing. The keys themselves doesn't have too much flex to it, just because you can see the base is reasonably stable and sturdy. The keys are made out of a slightly flimsier plastic, but do have a fairly satisfying click and a nice depth of travel that I found was fairly intuitive in my typing tests. And as a result, I could get a fairly good speed of typing just after practicing it for a few minutes. Sure, it's a little bit smaller, so you do need slightly smaller hands or a bit more patience sometimes, but after you get over the learning curve, it does work as well as any netbook keyboard I've tried, perhaps even better, since it takes advantage of the size and minimizes the bezels on this particular design. When you're done, you can just enter the standby mode, and the battery will kind of not be drained quite as fast. You can just kind of pop the tablet down, tap on the power key, and it goes to sleep and kind of saves on battery in the standby mode. So all in all, this makes for actually a pretty competitive 2-in-1 design. Not only is it a good Bluetooth keyboard, but it's also a fairly good stand for your tablet. A few downsides would be the fact that the keyboard itself is slightly smaller, it doesn't have backlight, and the fact that the clips might sometimes block out an edge of your tablet depending on how large your bezels are and what the aspect ratio is. But in my testing, I didn't find it distracting on several 8-inch tablets that I did a testing on it with. The screen was still fully responsive and media was still quite immersive. So for this price point of under 20 bucks, it actually is a pretty good buy. If you are trying to transform your detachable tablet into a fairly good 2-in-1 for work as well as for play, then this actually is something that you should take a closer look at. I would say especially if you have a Windows 7-inch or Windows 8-inch tablet, because having that keyboard for work will really be very useful in the day in and day out of just navigating around the interface and for entering text. So you can check out more details about this in our official written review, but for now this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. This has been our video of the TZUI Mini